Hey, Treva, can you hear me?
I got,
Okay, good. No, everything's in. I'm just not,
guys are working on getting me the brush cut.
people are gonna make fun of me.
So, yeah.
Cause I've got like a cow.
I can hear you, Brandon.
It's gonna look like an elementary.
Oh, okay. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Treva, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everything's live.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's back. Voice quick.
Mayor, Councilmember Green.
Okay, perfect. Let's start flying.
I know.
We have. Yeah, there's, there's something else in the house. For 20 else, I do something else. Yeah, well, I get it. Open door that way. Yes, exactly. Okay, everybody, it's 6 o'clock. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Smith,
Here.
Anderson. Here. Arsano.
Here.
Burbank. Here. Ferguson. Here. Bender.
Here.
Green.
Here,
Well, for everybody in the audience, we have one council member attending via Zoom.
And so we might have to wait a second or two for the time delay. Any agenda modifications this evening?
Move to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Just so everybody in the audience is aware, we're gonna do a couple, well, at least one proclamation. We're waiting on Assistant Chief Olson, and he'll be here shortly, so we may insert. And Vice President Logshaw. We're waiting on both. So we're gonna start with a proclamation. Then as soon as we're done with those, we're gonna have a quick 10-minute, hopefully 10 minutes or less, executive session, and we'll be back out. So. No, Danny?
Not way, but.
Okay,
We- we-
all right.
Nobody signed up.
Okay, well, I'll start with this.
Committee reports. if
No.
they wanted to.
We have, did anybody sign up to speak? No, okay.
Mayor,
Yeah,
if you have time, I have something I'd like to.
sure, please, that'd be great.
I was running late, it took me forever to get across the bridge. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Carolyn Harding on behalf of Hosford Construction Chamber members. We had an incident at one of our properties just yesterday involving a trespass of some parties. And I just wanted to commend the police department and the Public Works Director and his staff did an amazing job. They kept us from having a squatter. And they were trespassed. The issue was resolved. Police were there within 3 minutes, took care of it right away. One of the guys got arrested. He had an outstanding warrant. The lady got trespassed and left, but that couldn't have happened in other communities. And we are so grateful that you were able to do that. That property is getting ready to be sold for 5 years worth of work, and squatters are a huge issue these days with people saying that they contacted the utility department, said that they owned the property and that they wanted the utilities turned on. And staff was smart enough and informed enough to say to the boss, hey, that doesn't sound right, that we pulled all the meters. It's like, yes, you did. And so they did not turn anything on, did not give them any access, and it was perfect. It was a great job by city staff, and we certainly appreciate that.
Super. Thank you, Carolyn. Appreciate it. Okay. Well, we'll start with, well, Peeps here, so let's switch gears here. I've got a lot of stuff. All right. Chief, will come up to the mic.
You guys might want to get a little closer to that microphone.
It's over here. Okay. I just wanted, this is something, if you don't know from the community or even in-house, Assistant Chief Olson has accepted a really nice job in another state and unfortunately will be leaving us. These numbers, I hope I got it right. So from 2002 to 2007, served us as a volunteer and came back in 2021 as Assistant Chief from Idaho. And just wanted to recognize his lifelong effort thus far in Buckley and not to go unnoticed. His father before him for 25 years and retired as a captain. And excellent man, excellent family, and we appreciate everything you've done for us and wish you the best in all your endeavors. And I'm sure we'll get updates along the way and look forward to them. So thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, here, can you get in and come?
I assume it was for that, so I should ask the family.
They're gonna cover it up.
There you go. You want some meat? There. Oh, city administrator.
Ron, go ahead.
I would like to say, as not only a council member, but as a person who has a private life in this community, Assistant Chief Olson has brought, when available, volunteers and others to Glacier Middle School to interact with kids. It's not recess in middle school, it's called rec. Some kids play basketball and volleyball, and Assistant Chief Olson and his people can play both. And he's going to be missed. And I'm hoping that somebody will pick up that slack, because that is something that I believe he did on his own accord with the people, the men and women of Buckley Fire, to come over and they make a significant impact on these kids. And who knows, there's a very good chance down the way, a lot of them will want to be volunteers. Well done, Chief.
Amanda.
On behalf of my family and I, Assistant Chief Olson has been on calls for my own son. And we very, very much appreciate you, and your role, and Brian appreciates you, and advice that you've given him and things like that. So best of luck to you. We will miss you.
Thank you. Thank you both. So,
Hey,
and
Chief,
I
can
can
say
sit up
something?
here and go on for,
Councilmember Green
oh,
would like.
yes, yes, please. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much, AC Olson. Definitely super sad to see you go, but very happy for you in your next position. You will definitely be missed. You're an awesome man and amazing leader. So I know you'll do great where you go next, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Thanks, Brandon. Yep, it's gonna be, it's hard to wrap up into a few minutes, but half your career here mostly so far, so thank you again. We sure appreciate it and definitely look forward to updates moving forward. So, thank you, sir. Okay, and this one's gonna be a little bit more reading. Got a proclamation. We'll give this to Jeff. I guess I'll start by reading this. So in recognition of the 50th year of the Buckley Log Show, whereas the city of Buckley has a rich and storied history deeply rooted in the logging industry, which has been a cornerstone of our community's economy, culture, and heritage. And whereas for half a century, the Buckley Log Show has been a cherished tradition that celebrates the hard work, skill, and dedication of loggers and their families, while also providing an opportunity for residents and visitors to come together in a spirit of camaraderie and festivity. And whereas the Buckley Log Show has grown to become the most anticipated event of the year, drawing participants and spectators from near and far to enjoy competitions, entertainment, and the unique culture of the logging community. And whereas this year marks the 50th annual Buckley Log Show, a milestone that highlights the enduring legacy and continued relevance of this important event in our city's heritage. And whereas the success of the Buckley Log Show is a testament to the hard work and dedication of countless volunteers, sponsors, participants, and supporters who have contributed to its ongoing vitality and growth over the years. And whereas the city of Buckley wishes to recognize and honor the organizers, volunteers, participants, and the supporters of the Buckley Log Show for their unwavering commitment to preserving and promoting the traditions of the logging industry into our community. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Bo Burkett, Mayor of Buckley, do hereby proclaim for the last 50 years and henceforth the last full weekend of June will be known as Buckley Log Show Weekend in the city of Buckley, and encourage all residents and visitors to join in the celebration of this momentous occasion to honor our community and to support the events and activities of the 50th annual Buckley Log Show. I've signed this copy for you. I'm a member of the committee, and we don't always do the best job in the world of communicating, but I'm gonna go out on a little bit of a limb here, and I know that we and 50 years worth of we have contributed well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, every dollar going back into the community from 50 years of this event. So Jeff, please come up if you want to say anything. I've got this for you.
I just like to say it's nice to walk into the room and not have the mayor say, Jeff, you know, you've only got 3 minutes to talk. So, I guess on behalf of the Buckley Log Show, Danny, would you like to come up? Would you come in? You want to come up and say something? On behalf of the Buckley Log Show, I'd like to thank you, the city, for putting up with us and helping us get through. I mean, without you guys supporting us over there, you know, obviously the ground belongs to you, and without that ground, we couldn't have the show and do what we do. And so thank you guys more than anything. So anybody, you guys want to add to it at all?
You did great.
Hey, it's gonna be fun this weekend. We got some special things going on. 50 years is a long time. A lot of organizations don't make it that long. And I'm sure glad that we've made it, and it's because of people like that are behind me here and the guys sitting up front that help out and put this show on. It's the only way that can happen. So thank you, and thank the community for coming.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
Do you want to do a group picture?
What's that?
You want to do a group picture of everyone?
Oh,
Go on. You said a bunch of good stuff about him. What about me? You're my neighbor.
you want to get a picture, any of the community
I think
members?
it's like that guy because they got the same mustache. Danny.
Watch out, Amanda.
Sorry, getting out of picture.
Oh.
We'll go in the back. and whatever.
Jeff's supposed to be here.
Right, she's everyone. You got stop it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on to, would anybody else like to speak before we,
No,
Oh.
they haven't raised it.
okay,
Tell them to virtually raise it.
okay, if you're with us via Zoom and you need to raise your virtual hand, if you'd like to speak in the public comment section here.
We can give them another chance.
Yeah, and we'll have another chance at the end of the meeting for 3 minutes, so. All right, with that, it is 6:15. I'm going to adjourn the council meeting for 10 minutes for a quick executive session. Hopefully it'll be 5, but 10 minutes just in case. And we'll be right back.
That's a potential litigation.
Yeah, oh, for potential litigation, yes.
Okay.
For anyone on Zoom, the council has requested 5 more minutes in executive session.
Here, lighten up.
Yep.
Oh, wait.
There you go.
They are. They got.
Okay. All right, it is 6:30 and we'll resume the Buckley City Council meeting and have public comment. So we will go into committee reports. Development Services, Utilities and Transportation, Councilmember Arsano.
Development Services and Utilities met on June 17th. Discussion topics, building and planning, permitting software. Mr. Barnesworth discussed a software program, Civic Plus, that they choose to streamline the permitting process. It has many other software components that can be implemented in other departments, such as 311 for general public notification to all city departments and automating public disclosure requests. 311 will allow Public Works to utilize a work order system within our department. Standard response times will be implemented to ensure that we are communicating and handling service requests promptly. Active developments, Mr. Farnsworth reviewed the active development map and project status list. The planning department is working on getting an updated development map with the numbers where it shows each project, where each project is within the city. There currently are 21 projects on the list. 6-year step, Dom went over the 6-year transportation improvement plan. Dom explained that WASDOT has informed everyone to inflate cost estimates as they will not provide additional funding due to over cost estimates. The city added a project, an ADA project. It is a pedestrian project on C Street from Jefferson to Mason and Jefferson to A Street for a cost of $460,000. Complete Streets Ordinance. Complete Streets in Washington State refers to an approach that aims to create a transportation system accommodating all users. This includes pedestrians, bicyclists, motorists, and transit riders. When the city of Buckley adopts a Complete Streets Ordinance, it will allow the city to apply for more funding from Transportation Improvement Board. Current staffing levels within Public Works are low due to PFMLA leaves. Public Works anticipates 4 full-time staff potential beyond PFMLA in the near future, coupled with vacations. This creates some difficulties in completing daily, monthly, and annual tasks in a timely manner. That was it for that one.
Okay.
You want the planning?
Yeah,
commission next? Since
next,
we're going?
next, you bet.
That one was a fast one. We met on the same day, the 17th. You know, they just reviewed the economic development and capital facilities chapters to the comp plan, and it's the same thing that we've already reviewed, so.
Okay.
That was pretty much it.
Okay, super, thank you.
Yep.
Citizen Advisory Commission, Councilmember Anderson.
We met on Monday, June 17th, and there they just formalized 3 policies that will come forward at our joint meeting, July 9th. Those are policies I've mentioned previously, the Parks and Facility Naming Policy, Public Art and Murals Policy, and the Park Enhancement Policy. And then they just continued discussion on our Healthy Air in Parks Ordinance, which would ban smoking of any substance in our parks in Buckley. So it was a very quick meeting. Our next meeting will be that joint meeting in July 9th, and then our regular meeting will be in September.
Super, thank you.
Mhm.
On to council member comments and go to the order. Anybody, anything?
Hey, Teresa, I have something.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, hey, just wanted to thank you guys for bearing with me. I got called into a work meeting, so I'm sitting out in front of the Chop House in Billings, Montana. So thanks for bearing with me while I'm on Zoom. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you for taking the time out of your regular busy workday to join us. I know it can be a challenge when you're on the road. Okay, anybody else?
I recommend Jake's downtown Billings.
All right, consent agenda.
The only thing on tonight's consent agenda is claims and payroll.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Discussion, any? All
No
right,
discussion.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried.
All right, on to the regular agenda.
First item on the regular agenda is a resolution number 24-04, City Hall Addition and Modernization Project Bid Award.
Move to approve resolution number 24-04 to award bid of base bid and additive item 1 of City Hall Addition and Modernization Project rebid to Lincoln Construction, Inc. for the price of $2,736,553.28.
Second.
I need to recuse myself.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. And Administrator Brunel is here for any questions, which I know we'll have a few. Oh, Denise.
So I'm wondering where we are as far as income coming in so far this year. Are we where this 2024 budget says that we're supposed to be? And, you know, are we on track to get what we thought we were going to be getting before we spend lots of money on a building?
The short answer is yes, we are currently on track. So typically REIT dollars come in with a 2-month delay. So the money that we receive in the first half of the year is always less than what we receive in the second half of the year. Last year, we received 39% of our total budget. And at this year, we are currently at 38% of our total budget planned for REIT revenue. That total right now, we've received 75,183. We budget to receive 200,000. That is a $40,000 dip from last year. So last year we received $240,000 and we knew that things were slowing down a bit. So we reduced that down to 200. On top of that, last year, compared to that estimate, we actually started the year with an additional $10,000 in REIT than we expected because we ended even stronger than we expected to. So all things considered, we're a bit ahead of where we expected to be, assuming that we continue to follow the trajectory that we've seen in prior years, which is the second half of the year typically makes up about 60% of that budget. And then the 40% comes in the first half of the year.
Okay. So my other question is, last year, I wasn't on the council at the time, but I know we didn't want to deplete the REIT dollars. And there was talk of using the cumulative fund, which I don't want us to do that, but why are we okay with depleting all the REIT money this year?
We will continue to have money in REIT for Miller Park. There will be just over $300,000 set aside, which we had budgeted to spend this year for Miller Park, but we are not spending this year because we're waiting on the grants. And so there may potentially be a grant match. So there will be about $300,000 remaining in REIT. We also have seen cost savings in the Bevelo project and a small amount in the Foothills Trailhead parking lot project to the tune of about $40,000. And that's a conservative estimate on savings in REIT so far in 2024 for those projects.
So then the 380,000 for Miller Park, if we use that, when are we going to be able to put that back from?
We're not proposing to use that at this time, but if we were to use it, it would be, every year we budget approximately $200,000 into REIT. So real estate excise tax into 307 and 308 each. So it would take 2 years to replenish that if we did use a portion of that, but we are not proposing to for the financing plan.
And the grant for Miller Park, we're expecting that 2025.
Correct.
Maybe.
I believe that the decision on that is due back sooner. Sorry. Miller Park grant. When do we expect a decision on that?
There's 4 current.
We are mid-process in 4 different grant funds currently, and we keep advancing. We've gotten some positive news. However, it's a long process. We really won't have an idea until the state finalizes their budget in spring of next year at what amount they fund. Well, and where we sit on the ranking list is what we'll get. And so the earliest we'd be going to contract is probably May of next year.
Okay. And we have 287,000 funded for that We also have $20,000 funded for MPC building improvements that we have not yet spent this year, 10,000 funded for youth center exterior repair. And then we did have the cost savings, a bit of cost savings for Foothills Trail and the Bevlo project. Okay, that was current.
Then one other question. If we use this money and we deplete everything, if something happens, what will we do as far as being able to pay for something?
So 307 and 308 are used for facility or capital improvement projects. And so if it would be helpful for me if you could give me a scenario as to what would.
If a tree fell on a building, and I know that insurance would pay for some, but if there was some kind of catastrophe, you know, plumbing broke and they had to rip out walls and, you know, pay, I don't know how much that would cost, $80,000 or $100,000. Would we be able to have the money for that, or is that going to come from somewhere else?
I am not, Sandy,
She was, but she jumped off.
I am not sure that we would use 307.
For that kind of project?
Well, it would be an option. It would be an option to use 307. And again, we will still have a balance in that fund. I think that the anticipated balance at the end of this year was close to $80,000. And so in the timeline for this project, because we're invoiced on a likely a monthly basis, we will pay the invoices as they come in. So we will start the project if it's approved, let's say 60 days from now. So we will receive our first invoices this year, and we will continue to receive invoices in 2025. And during that time, we will be collecting REIT revenue on a monthly basis in 2025. And likely with the timeline and just where we're at in the year, this is anticipated to take 18 months. And so we will even be going into 2026. And so with the anticipated REIT revenue that we continue to receive on a monthly basis, I don't think that we would find ourselves in a position where we would have no money in REIT. Even with the approved budget, there was $80,000. And again, we've seen some cost savings, and then the budget moving forward to close the gap that between the bid and what was budgeted for 2024. The intention that was discussed on January 9th by council was that we would use the portion of the REIT in 2025, a portion of that REIT revenue in 2025. Again, the delta here is about $180,000. We typically receive about $200,000 annually. A conservative estimate would be $200,000. But that grows year over year because home prices continue to increase. And we do have some cost savings that we've seen in projects. And so I think all things combined, we wouldn't find ourselves in a position where we would have zero in that fund.
Okay, thank you.
Tony.
Okay, my question being, the last time we put this out to bid, and then the bids we got were more than the engineer's estimate, and so they rejected all bids. It's the same thing now. Why aren't we not rejecting all bids? With the difference?
I can provide my opinion, but my opinion of this situation compared to the previous situation.
Well, it was the city's deal said we should, you know, we'd like.
It was. So
Yeah.
we came forward and said that for the cost, and it was a consideration for council to choose to award the bid at that time at the higher amount. But staff made the recommendation
Right.
that we not move forward because it did not solve any of our organizational wide issues regarding space. And that's when we brought forward, we would like to add the second edition in order to resolve that issue rather than spend that amount of money on something that isn't going to solve a problem. So this is coming in a bit over budget. The original budget estimate was 2.657. So 2.6 million. On January 9th, when it was voted to go with option C for the modified roof line, we notified council at that time that that would increase the budget by approximately $150,000, which would have brought a total budget to 2.8 million. So 2.807. The
Well, that's
actual
not what's in this document.
on page, I'm reading from the memo.
I'm reading from Gray and Osborne.
Okay. I'm reading from the memo, so their total estimate, the engineer's estimate does not include construction management. And so our budget did include construction management because we factored that into the total cost. So we added $150,000 verbally on January 9th to that 2.6 million that was budgeted for in 2024, saying that we would use 2025 REIT in order to close that gap. So that total budget would have been 2.8 if you add the 150,000 to the 2.6. So in total, we had anticipated 2.807, and all things together, our grand total is 2.877. So we're looking about $70,000 more than what we had originally anticipated back in January of this year. And so we will be looking at some of the cost savings for REIT. That $40,000 will help. We started out $10,000 ahead this year, and we have 2025 and 2026 to fund that delta with the incoming REIT dollars that we receive.
Now, the 40,000 that we supposedly saved on the parking lot, but it's not completed. We don't have any of the lights up yet, the bathroom functional yet.
Primarily Bevlo was the fund or the savings that we saw, and that project has been completed. No.
It hasn't started.
Oh, okay. But the estimate came in significantly below what our budget was.
I don't know figures at the top. That's considerably lower.
Because I just don't want to see, we've got a lot of unfinished projects around the city that a lot of that money could go for.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Denise?
I have
Yeah.
one more. This that we got from one of our citizens about us needing 25 stalls, is that accurate?
No, last year, the council amended the parking code. We're referencing the public comment that was distributed. And it references a code section that was amended last year. And so the city hall, the MPC, I believe that the city hall is the boundary for the historic downtown design review district. And last year, the council amended the parking code for Main Street and everything within the design district, making it so that there was a lower parking requirement. And so we are only required to provide one stall per 500 new gross square feet for an addition. So we are exceeding the parking requirement for the municipal code.
So will there still be room to put a parking lot at a later date?
Yes.
There will, okay.
Okay.
I'm good now. Thank you.
Anybody else? Brandon, you have any questions, concerns?
No, good here. Thank you.
Okay. All right. That this will be roll call, yes? No, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Motion carries.
Oh, yeah, please. Okay, and on to unfinished business.
Next item on the agenda is an engineering services proposal for construction management for City Hall addition and modernization project.
Move to approve the engineering services proposal for construction management of City Hall addition and modernization project.
Second.
Okay. Questions, comments, concerns over the engineering services agreement? Okay. Right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No.
Motion carries.
Okay. Staff reports, development services update. Senior Planner Chris Farnsworth.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm just here to provide a brief update on our development projects and our map. So we have an updated map. Some of the projects on the last map were removed and we're going to try and keep this current, and it will be an evolving document that every time you see me, it will be slightly different. The only two real big news I have to share with you are the McDonald's is currently under construction, as I'm sure everybody has seen. They're planning to have that thing open by October. So their turnaround is quick and it will be great when that is open. The other news I have to share is we just had our pre-con for the Spiketon subdivision today, and that is number 44 on the table. And so that is a 70+ home, single family development. And so that's great news for the city, and that will ensure that we have work going forward. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay. Any questions for Chris? Good job on the map. It will evolve quickly and as things come in and drop off and yep. So yeah. Great. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And an update on fireworks from Chief Scogan.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. 4th of July is upon us very quickly. And I just wanted to, first of all, thank the wonderful citizens of Buckley. I have some data over the last 4 years. Last year in 2023, for the 24-hour period on the 4th of July, there were only 2 fireworks related calls on the 4th. Both were mutual aid responding to East Pierce Fire and Rescue. On July 5th, we did experience a small grass fire at the corner of Spiketon and Ryan Road that was quickly extinguished. In 2022, we responded to 7 calls, one of which was a mutual aid fireworks related structure fire. In 2021, there were 0 fireworks related calls, and in 2020, once again, a mutual aid structure fire in Bonnie Lake. So with that, I know there's been some discussion amongst yourselves about where the city stands on fireworks and banning them. So to give you some context, none of our neighboring cities, Bonnie Lake, Enumclaw, Ording, or Sumner, currently have a fireworks ban. Pierce County, also unincorporated Pierce County, also currently doesn't have a fireworks ban. The unincorporated county is, however, under a burn ban, which is seasonal now from year to year, and it has nothing to do with fire danger. That ban applies to nobody in the city of Buckley. So our residents that live in the unincorporated county are typically allowed to burn to dispose of vegetation and brush. No city or town that's incorporated allows that at any time. So recreational fires are still allowed in the county. Recreational fires right now are allowed in the city. As everybody can tell, things are still very green. So for us, that's good. I have a feeling our fire season's not going to start until August this year. And we're expected to still remain in a low fire danger for at least the next month or so. I could only share historical data with you on fireworks related incidents. Once again, just a huge amount of credit to our citizens while our neighbors keep us busy. During my entire time with the city of Buckley, I've seen very little fireworks related incidents, which is a good thing. If the council were to consider a ban on fireworks, it would be something that would have to be enacted by ordinance, and that's not something that would be able to take effect until the following year after the ordinance has been approved. So from my personal opinion and my personal opinion only, I would like to see us continue to follow the existing municipal code, which gives the fire code official, which is me, the option to put an emergency ban on fireworks according to conditions. We have lucked out tremendously this year with the weather. I think we're going to see a very low threat. Municipal code will always allow us to make that executive decision according to conditions. So that's just some of the information I wanted to share, and definitely hear what your thoughts and opinions are.
Anybody, any questions, concerns for Chief? Oh, go ahead, Connie.
What are considered common fireworks? Are they one that go up and go boom and land in your neighbor's yard?
No. So common fireworks is what you can buy at one of the two that will be permitted on Thursday of this week, retail fireworks stands that are going to be allowed to operate in the city. So they're not the big aerials that can travel. Things can go up, but the things that you would see at a professional show or buy on tribal lands aren't considered common.
Like rockets and.
Yeah,
stuff?
bottle rockets even are not permitted.
Well, this is the trouble. Most people don't know what common fireworks are.
Correct.
And we ended a lot of them 200 feet into our front yard.
Okay. I totally understand. The challenging part is enforcement and
Well, that's it. I mean,
the other cities in the county, the other cities in Pierce County that have bans is Tacoma, Ruston, and Steilacoom. I personally don't know how they do with enforcement, but I do know that the person discharging the illegal fireworks needs to be caught doing it. So now it kind of crosses the line into a law enforcement issue and no longer a fire department issue. And I do know that enforcement is challenging. I can assure you that beginning immediately that the fire department at least can do a much better job on publicity on what's legal, what's not. And then of course, just general safety tips.
so the ones that go up and sparks fly all over, those are legal. I'm just trying to figure out for myself.
Sure.
What's legal and what's not.
Sure.
We don't shoot any off, so.
Okay.
But, yeah. And we're just as common. I just noticed most cities have a list of what they allow. We don't.
Mhm.
We just say common and what's common.
Sure.
I know if you buy the knuckle shoots, it's not legal, but.
Right. We're definitely 100% on board with publicly showing with graphics and with images what's allowed and what's not.
Okay, thank you.
One of the things that I would ask council to consider in the future is the discussion surrounding a potential ordinance. Should we choose to enact it that's similar to the city of Enumclaw, which just asks that persons that have vacant land with vegetation on it, make sure it gets mowed at least 2 times during the growing season, once in May or June and once in July or August.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns, comments about fireworks or? I know everybody can let their own imaginations wander when you ban things, how things tend to go with even more illegal, more tribal type fireworks and so on and so forth. I
Well,
know.
we just buy the ones at Fireland. I mean, and they go up in the air. We get the big boxes for the boys like to watch. But
We have,
yeah, I mean,
we have a couple communities that really go all out and they block off, cordon off the block, so. And I think they do a pretty good job of having garden hoses and stuff
Yeah.
handy too, but. So,
Yeah, but
Okay.
don't imagine you've got dead trees lining your property line that belongs to your neighbors either.
right, exactly.
Got it.
Hence the vegetation. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Okay. City Administrator Brunel, you have any updates?
I'd just like to invite Director Banks up to discuss the complete streets ordinance that was included in your packet.
Yeah, as Councilmember Arsano pretty much read the memo in his report earlier. So it's basically, it's an ordinance that'll be coming before you in the near future with staff recommendation to adopt. It allows the city, or it makes the city eligible to apply for additional transportation dollars through TIB, through the Complete Streets program.
Yeah, making some of those links.
Yep, connecting some of the, the sidewalk links. Yep.
Kenny.
I forgot to ask, so are those grants or the funding, is that do we gotta match that or is it just 100%?
I don't know what that match is. Do you, Dom? Is it 5? Where a lot of the other ones are 80-20 or 80-15, depending on which funding sources they're coming from.
Yeah, county, state.
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Okay, we've got one more round of public comment. Anybody like to speak that hasn't spoken or has spoken already? Or maybe not. Save one. Okay. Anybody on, is that person still online?
But they're not raising.
Okay. All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, council.
Oh,